Hello, welcome to Logan's story. Can we just talk for a second? Okay. I'm very. And here's the thing. When I say this, I want everyone to know that I'm okay. I don't know who's watching. I don't really know who is caring to watch anymore. But if you're someone I care about or someone I know, just letting you know I'm okay. I just want to get something off my chest. My mind is racing at 100 miles per hour. You know why? Because, first of all, let me just explain this. I have a job that I got hired for. I'm going to go do a drug screening. And essentially, this job is still waiting for the drug screening to come through as positive or negative. Now, mind you, I didn't do any drugs. I haven't been doing any drugs. I haven't been smoking weed, none of that. It's taking forever this to go through. And I've now realized that I enjoy making money. I enjoy making money. I enjoy having funds. The only reason I haven't really been saving up until this point, and the reason why I'm taking a lot of gig jobs, by the way, if anyone has like a gig, if you're watching this and you have a gig that, possibly I could come to and just earn extra money for, I'd be down. That's not a plea for help. That's just me saying I'm putting myself out there and trying to find jobs and gigs that I can get a part of today. Today, I'm putting this video out today. So if you see this video today, I'm looking for gig work. Just put in in the comments or message me or whatever you want to do. But it's just been stressful because I realize how much I like making money. I think everybody likes making money. I think that's one of the greatest things you could do in American and in the world is make money. And I realize how kind of my mind races when I don't have money. And I think I feel as though I'm addicted to money. But I don't feel like I'm addicted that much to money because, I may do it this week with a job essentially, but I paid a bill with the money that I got from that job. So it was about $150 I paid my phone bill. That was the entirety of $150 plus another bill. It's just life. That's just life and stuff. But the thing that makes it so hard, especially being in the position I am, and generally speaking, going back to school is an option. But the problem with that is I fear, I think it's just a general fear that if I go back to school, that I'm not going to have the appropriate job lining that I need for career basis. Essentially, I'm saying to you that I'm not going to have the ability to make films or to edit or do any of that stuff. But I'm going to take it under consideration in spring. I'm going to do about 3 classes in spring. One of them being a vocal class. That being as it may, and the reason why I'm doing it that way is because I need these last few months. What is it? September, October, November, December. 4 months to save money. I need to save at least, goal intended right here. I need to save at least that much money. Because I've noticed that I don't have I have an impulse buy sensation. I buy. And that's something that I think has been ingrained in me ever since I got that first paycheck. Once I realized I could literally just buy things, and I don't know why it's like that. I buy pink drinks from Starbucks a lot. I buy it a lot. And I buy it to the point where essentially it's become kind of a habit to buy these things. Now, mind you, I still pay all my bills. Those are the first things I pay once I get my paycheck. It's just that little extra money that could go into spending, I don't put it into spending. Because trust me, I have a large sum of income coming in after the bills. It's just I'm so accustomed to spending on just little things that I never put it in savings. I think what I'm saying to you is I'm trying to get this out there, and maybe this will help somebody too. I think I need to make a goal on myself and trying to learn how to have a lot of self-control. And I think what I'm lacking as a young adult right now is self-control. In terms of you know what's funny? In terms of when I get angry or upset, I have self-control over that. So I know I have self-control. I think it's the idea of having self-control over anger that drains me a little bit, because a lot of people think, okay, well, yeah, it's good to kind of maintain your anger and stuff. That's good. But sometimes you need to get that shit out. I'm going to be honest with you. We're humans. We need to get that shit out sometimes. It's frustrating to keep it in all the time. And trust me, I've been in a lot of positions in my life where I've had to keep that in. I've had to stay quiet. I've had to like hold in my anger, because I know if I expressed the way I did, I would be in a lot of trouble by the people around me. Whether that trouble was extensive, intensive, or whatever the case may be. But I think the goal right now, because I've applied to like 6 or 7 places, essentially. And I'm just waiting on word, essentially. And I've actually quit my job at the movie theater a long time ago. I don't know if I've ever talked about that on here. I used to work at a movie theater over yonder. And I used to earn a couple income, and I used to see free movies. The only thing was, this past year, there hasn't been any good movies. You know? That's why when you see me here talking about Pixar movie reviews the way I have been, it's simply because I feel as though those are the only movies that I really feel were really good growing up. And you'll see a video coming up pretty soon. I would either say probably tomorrow or Wednesday of essentially what's it called, Treasure Planet, you know. And I don't know, I've just been really I think this is the one thing that's given my mind comfort right now, that and like I've been watching a Norm Macdonald, a recent comedian, passed away. I think I don't remember when it was, but I'm listening to his belief in God and stuff like that, and I'm trying to understand him. Even though the guy is kind of offensive, he doesn't care, which is what I admire, but he is kind of offensive out of all the comedians I've met. I mean, not I've met any comedians, but that I've listened to and stuff. But I think the takeaway from this video is to have self-control. And that's something that I think it's going to be a hard process to learn. But having self-control, I think that's just going to be the hardest thing. I've been praying to God for self-control for a long time. But you know that scene in Evan Almighty where God's talking to Evan's wife, and he says, do you think God gives people what they ask for, or do they give them the opportunity to essentially get what they ask for? And I feel like God has given me a lot of opportunity to get what I asked for. For instance, I prayed to God for a job. He gave me the opportunity to have a suit, have food, have a family that really is going to take me in while I'm looking for a job, and I got a job. I asked God for a better understanding of how to edit and become more creatively aware, and he gave me a YouTube channel. And I just took that opportunity to build from there. And to get my word out there, and to get my things out there, and to get my creativity out there. I can tell you truthfully that YouTube is the only physical way that I can get creative on my own time, without money or pay, which sucks. It doesn't suck that much because I love doing it. But I think what really makes the deal sometimes is like when I earn money from a job, and literally, guys, this is all I have to pay for. And think about it, $2,200 a month plus, that's something, you know? Phone bill, rent, car insurance, car payment. And technically speaking, I still have a car insurance, but technically speaking, if I don't have car insurance and I can find some lower car insurance than what I have now, I could just do it with a car payment, because that covers my gap insurance. So if I get into a car accident, which I don't typically because I like to be a safe driver, but that would cover it. So technically speaking, I can only car payment. So right now, I'm in a perfect position, and I think this is another thing about what you should take away from this video, whoever is watching this, is understand your blessings right now. I have a sandwich right here that I haven't finished. I have a big jug of water in the back. I don't have juice. I don't have any of that stuff. I have water. I have a TV. I have a running bathroom. And in terms of this apartment, trust me, there are 10,000 apartments in this general vicinity in Inland Empire that are horribly placed and a horrible place to live. This has mainly students in it. This apartment, mainly students, mainly people I can work with, you know. But I think what really hurts me is that I feel like I'm in a position where I don't know, I can't really do much except wait. And I think the ability to wait on something that I genuinely feel like is just scary to wait on is hard. You know? It's hard because I feel like I can, you know, I guess get to the point where I can be if I just start. You know what's funny is I have the job. You know, I got hired. I was hired on the job. I'm just waiting for this drug screening to get through. And it's like really freaking difficult, dude. Because I want to start working. I'm not the type of person to sit in my, like, I come from a family that likes to relax a lot of the time. It's not like they relax all the time. It's just most of the time they take relaxation and stuff. I don't like relaxing for a long time. I like being active. I like doing things. I like being out there in the world. I like being busy. You know, there's like, my family used to get really mad at me when I would dance around the house with my headphones in, but that was the only way I could really, honestly, truthfully stay busy with myself. I didn't really have a passion. I didn't really have something to go back on. I didn't really have, I mean, acting was it, theater was it, but that was like not something I was truthfully, honest to God, could do every day. You know, I mean, I guess I could look through, what's it called, monologues, but that's to me, that's boring. When I found YouTube, when I found editing, I was able to do things that I had never thought I could do. Like, for instance, I hope that I remain consistent, but I've been really consistent up until this point. I have been insanely consistent. Do you know why that is? Because I promised myself, I swore to myself, I sat down and looked myself in the mirror and said, Logan, you got to stay consistent. And for the most part, I have been consistent. And I pray that I stay consistent. But now it's become a hobby. Now it's become a muscle memory to stay consistent. Because the times where I didn't want to upload, the times where I didn't want to sit down and edit, I've sat down and edited, and I've sat down and been passionate about this thing. You know? But this kind of transition is hard. It's a kind of a hard transition, you know? I have groceries, I have a lot of water, you know, I just don't have a lot of money right now. And it kind of sucks just because I'm essentially waiting for a job that's trying to get a drug test through when it was supposed to be 2 to 3 days. And I called a regional manager over there for one of the other logistics centers, and they said it was going to take a week. And I was just like, oh man, dude. And mind you, I moved into this apartment last week. It hasn't even been that long. But here's the thing, being in this apartment, it feels like it took, it's been like a year. You know, did I move into this apartment last week? No, 2 weeks ago. It's the 18th today. No, it was last week. It was last week. Because the 9th was not that long ago. Yeah, it's about a week and a half ago. So it's not been that long. It hasn't been that long, you know? But I have 2 banks. I have essentially 3 banks right now that I'm working under. One of them has little to no money. One of them has money. One of them is basically a savings account that has little saved. It's just, I've never been able to been like, I've never been disciplined. I'm not saying I've never been told not to spend and just save money, but I've never been really self-disciplined or disciplined by other people in order to save properly. And it's just difficult. It's so freaking difficult, you know? And I think this thing that I'm doing right now, talking to a camera, is giving me so much peace. You know, I don't have peace right now. I'm walking around my room trying to figure out what to do. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? You know? And that's what scares me about the society now, is like we're all so accustomed to like laying back and chilling, you know, and having sex and and having everything come to us that I don't feel personally comfortable with that. I want to do things. I want to explore. I want to be curious. I want to do these things that I haven't been able to do most of my life because of just kind of restrictions based on family. And it's not necessarily all their fault. I'm just saying that I would really like to explore. A lot of people are asking me, well, why don't you go? Well, not a lot of people are asking me. I've had a director for a theater house essentially invite me to these auditions over there in Redlands. And the reason I haven't been going is because I've been waiting for this job. Because I don't know I don't know, maybe, you know what, now that I think about it, maybe I should just go audition for those things. You know, maybe I should just like spend time in theater. Because I haven't been in a theater for a while. I haven't been in theater since, you know, honestly, I don't think I've been in theater since the Crucible. Because I did a play at RCC, and it was The Crucible. You know, and they actually have a play coming up, another play that's essentially this Hispanic immigrant that it's a kind of a long story, but I don't know. I feel like I just need to get out and explore, but in order to explore to the necessary realm that I want to, I have to have money. You know? And I've been doing these gigs for the past few days on Craigslist on Craigslist gigs, but it's just been hard, to be honest with you. It's just been difficult. So yeah, I don't know. I think the thing is I just need to get myself out there and just, I guess this is a kind of like a thing where I just want to say, hey, if you got something that I can do today, like a gig or something, let me know. But it's also kind of to say, hey, you know, I don't know. It's just to put myself out there, basically. But I think that the takeaway from this is I just want to have an immense amount of self-control. And that's it. You know? So, thanks, guys. Peace.